Taking a painkiller, you put the glass back on the nightstand and lean back your head before releasing a sigh. Your head was aching a lot from yesterday and you don't know why it's happening because it doesn't feel normal. Even the painkillers won't work. You didn't go out of the house for 2 days. Your husband was out for a business trip, so he told you he won't come tonight, so you're left with no one but yourself. You stayed up in the bed for some time thinking about your life and what's happening so far. Overall, it was a rush. Your marriage and everything that happened so far, you didn't get time to think about what you were doing and where it was leading you, even though it was better than you thought. You are married to a very humble and nice guy, but when there are good qualities, they never come without conditions. His nature is a little bit cold that you dislike so much. No matter how much you try, you can't manage with it. And because of that, there are things that you weren't able to tell him. You won't share things that you want to. This often leads to cause dispute between you both, but at the end of the day, things go normal and again that normal life starts. You turned off the lights and pulled the blanket over you but still didn't get any sleep. Your head was spinning, so you again got up and decided to make some coffee for yourself. Occasionally you experience anxiety attacks as well, but they only come when you're extremely panicked or worried. How was your work going on, son? I heard you went to Japan last night. She broke the awkward silence where only the sound of spoon and forks were coming as you were having a family dinner with your in-laws. You were supposed to see the doctor today, but then Jungkook came back and your mother-in-law gave you an invitation for dinner, so you have to drop the plan. Yes, I went to sign a deal. She stopped eating and looked at him. You should have taken Ryan along with you. I feel like you guys are not giving each other enough time because of work. She said it in a different way when in actuality she was trying to remind you your responsibilities. You didn't give good news to them yet. Jungkook took a glimpse of you and found you already looking at him. You lowered your eyes and continued eating. Your mother is right. You should take a break and go on vacation for some days. At least a week. Just relax for some days. Mrs. John looked at you. There's no problem in that, right, Ryan? You flashed her a smile and nodded. Yes. So what do you think, Jungkook? He again looked at her. I'll let you know, but for 2 days I'll be busy with work, so I can't say. You looked at him already expecting the answer but not surprised at all. The rest of the dinner was in silence, and after that you both drove back home. You were in the car and Jungkook was driving. The whole time you were sitting resting your head against the window looking outside. Your head was slightly aching but don't know why you were feeling so frustrated and irritated. I will be free in 2 days so you can decide the place to visit. I'll book the tickets and all the other arrangements. He broke the silence while your eyes still focused on the road. I'm a little busy for these 2 days. You lifted up your face and looked at him. You don't have to trouble yourself, I'm fine. Even if you don't want to go, I stop expecting anything anyways. Jungkook looked towards you. He does not remember saying anything wrong that you have to give such a response. Did I say anything that you didn't like? You chuckled sarcastically and looked outside the window, as if you even talk. I don't want to go anywhere, so no need to bother. I'm fine with how I'm living. Can I ask you what's up with you and what are you trying to say? I don't understand these puzzles. You looked at him. You were mad because of yesterday. You wanted to tell him about your condition and how you are feeling these days, but all he said was let's talk after I came back and he left. Now you just wanted to clear everything between both of you so you can decide whether you want to live together. You don't need to understand anything. I have nothing to tell you. Jungkook is very well familiar about your nature, so he decided to talk to you after you reach home. But after coming home, you straight up went to sleep, giving him no time to talk to you. Jungkook thought you were mad about something, but in actuality, you have a very bad headache and you decided to take a nap. Jungkook silently laid down on the bed beside you and turned off the lamp. He was unable to sleep, thinking about how your behavior is so different from the past few days, and you always look pissed. He does not understand why you are so complicated. It's hard for him to understand you most of the time because your mood changes more than 7 times a day, and mostly you only complain about him being emotionless and not understanding when there's nothing like that. He wants to know you, but you don't give him a chance. You were fixing an appointment with your doctor while sipping on your morning coffee. Although the pain is gone now and you were feeling better after getting a better sleep last night, but you still decided to get a checkup. What you have observed is that whenever you are tensed or don't sleep well, you face this problem, so you know what the doctor is going to say, but still you wanted to be sure and not believe in your assumptions only. Jungkook came in the living room. He was all dressed up for work and was looking for something that he wasn't able to find. He decided to ask you. Ryan, did you see a red file somewhere? I think I forgot where I'd keep it. He waited for your reply and you gave it, but without taking your eyes off of the phone. No, I didn't. He was so disappointed, not because you said you don't know, but your behavior these days is getting so bad towards him. It feels like you always try to ignore him and is not at all interested in him. He decided to finally talk about it, so he walked near you. Is everything alright with you? You slowly lifted up your face and looked at him. Is there something bothering you? You got up and let out a sarcastic chuckle that Jungkook didn't like. Yes, everything is fine. By the way, why did you ask? I thought you just don't care about anything. He frowned. What's wrong with you? Why you're always in a bad mood when I talk to you about something? Do you have any problem with me or my presence around you? He finally decided to ask it. Why don't you ask yourself this? Now that I've started to behave the same exact way you do, you're having problems, right? His forehead wrinkled up. He was so puzzled. So you want to blame me for your behavior? When did I ignore or talk this way with you? You are the one who always have problem with everything, always complaining and never satisfied with whatever I do. You always expect me to do everything when you are giving this behavior all the time. Now that's what you said, which you keep inside yourself. That's all you think of me, huh? Jungkook was so fed up, and in no way he wanted this argument to turn into a serious fight, because that way the result can be serious. He decided to leave. You know what? Do whatever you want. Think whatever you want. I just don't care. And he angrily left from there, leaving you in tears. I know that you don't care. You never cared. You were angry and anxious at the same time, and your body started to tremble very badly. You walk towards your room to get your pills because then only you can stop things from becoming worse. You came in your room and like a crazy person searching for your medicine. Because of panic and anxiety, your mind stopped working and you forgot where you kept the pills. Then you remembered that last night you took them in the bathroom, so you got up and went inside the bathroom, finally finding the bottle of pills. Your head started to spin, and before you take those medicines, you felt it spinning so bad that the bottle dropped from your hands before you fell on the floor while your head hits against the bathtub. A tear dropped from your eyes before eyes shut down and everything turned dark and empty. Blood was coming out of your head and pills were all over the floor. Jungkook came out of the house in anger. He grabbed a vase and threw it on the floor. Not only he was angry but hurt by your behavior. You never tell him what you feel and want, but never step back from blaming him. That's the reason he never asks you anything. He was leaving for the office in anger, but then he decided to go back to you, to check you for one last time and to have a few words with you, like what you want or what changes you want to bring. Somewhere he started to realize his mistake as well because you already told him that you don't like his nature, but he didn't work on it. Although he's never rude to you, but maybe that's the only reason you are still not adjusting in this marriage. He came back but didn't find you in the living room. Jungkook was truly apologetic for ruining your mood in the morning itself, although it wasn't his intention, but things turned out like this. Suddenly he heard a loud thud and it came from the bedroom, making his heart drop. Wyan. He immediately ran inside the bedroom, fear badly surrounding him because he thought you might be harming yourself. When Jungkook didn't find you in the room, also, he walked inside the bathroom as the door was already open and the floor under his feet slipped when he saw you lying on the floor, covered in blood. He saw the pills everywhere and your blood was still coming out. Wyan. He quickly came near you and grabbed a towel before wrapping it around your head. Tears started to fall from his eyes. People say he has a heart of stone, but they will never say it if they see his condition right now. His body was shaking and the man was crying. He picked you up in his arms and rushed outside. I won't let anything happen to you. You will be alright. Even his voice was shaking. The relationship he thought hasn't built yet was already so strong that his heart was aching even with the thought of losing you. He didn't waste a second and headed to the hospital. Mrs. John came near her son as he needs someone to give him strength. He was completely broken and she never saw her son crying like this for anyone. And it was obvious the one who was hurt was no other than the woman he vowed to spend his entire life with. She put her hand over his shoulder, making him look at her. Nothing will happen to her. She will be alright. He broke down like a child in front of his mother and hugged her. It's all my fault. Because of me, she's in this condition. I don't deserve to be loved, Mom. I can't even make her happy. All of this happening because I'm like this. Nothing is your fault, son. No one can stop mishappenings. It happens when it meant to be. Don't cry. Stay strong because she will be alright. Believe in God and pray for her well-being. She was patting his back while tears filling her eyes as well. She was pretending to be strong in front of her son, but deep down she was scared. The doctors were scared as well when they first saw your condition. The door opened after so many hours of surgery and the doctor came out. Jungkook immediately approached him. Doctor, my wife, is she okay? The doctor looked at his condition, and who can understand their pain better than the doctor themselves who witnessed this every day? He put his hand on Jungkook's shoulder. You brought her on time, but she still has lost so much blood. The operation was successful, but we still can't say anything. Her condition is critical and we have to keep her on watch. What does that mean? She will be alright. Can I see her for 1 minute? The doctor was understanding his situation, but it wasn't possible. He looked at Mrs. John. I understand your concern, but please wait. Ma'am, hold your son. Please take care. And then he looked at Jungkook before patting his shoulder. She will be fine. Saying that, he left while Jungkook dropped on his knees. Hold yourself, Jungkook. Nothing will going to happen to her. Soon his father and other family members came as well. This was a vulnerable situation for everyone. The only daughter-in-law of the John family was today struggling between life and death. Hours passed away and Jungkook was looking completely pale. He didn't even drink a single drop of water. He was regretting everything. From the very beginning till now, he was regretting his behavior towards you. Around night time, you got shifted in a different ward and the doctor gave them a good news that you are out of danger and came back to your senses as well. Everyone decided to let Jungkook go inside first, and it was one person at a time. His heart was beating so fast. He wiped all his tears before facing you. His heart cried and he bit his lower lip when he saw your head covered with bandages. Dragging his trembling feet, he came near you. You were in your senses and rested enough to think to see properly. This was the first time you have seen him like this. He wasn't looking that same Jungkook. His eyes were puffy and red. It showed how much he must have cried. He walked near your bed and sat on his knees before taking your hand in his. Looking at him, it looks that he wanted to say a lot, but nothing was coming out of his mouth. Did you cry because of me? A slow, very fragile voice, more like a whisper, came out of your mouth, and that's it. His tears fall down. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Vian. I know I'm the most terrible person in your life, but give me a chance. You know that I can't talk much, and if you have planned to make me cry, please don't do that. He shook his head. I'm not. Then why are you crying? It wasn't your fault. In fact, you saved me for no reason. He looked at you. For no reason? What would I do without you? I love you, Vian. Trust me, I love you with all my heart. I know I never confessed it, but I'm always grateful to have you. I'm not lying, trust me. Sorry for being a bastard. I should apologize too. It was my fault too, but the doctor told you to not talk much, and it was real. You felt a sharp pain in your head. Jungkook got more worried when you hissed. Don't talk, I'll call the doctor. You grabbed his hand and shook your head. No need, I'm okay. Stay here. He wiped your tears and kissed on the back of your hand. Thank you so much for staying strong. I promise I won't let you give a chance to complain anymore. You smiled vaguely. Sometimes things do happen for a reason. It was mishappening, but I'm happy. Don't speak much. Let's leave it for some other day when you get recovered. He placed a soft kiss on your forehead. Mom, Dad, and others are here. They are worried for you. You were really surprised how much his family cared about you. One by one, everyone visited you. Finally, the bad time was over. You were admitted in the hospital for a week, and that whole week, Jungkook was with you. He left his work for you and took care of you all the time. This incident had changed so much between you. Your internal love was building, but you both didn't realize it earlier, and that's why there were quarrels all the time. But now, when you both gave time to each other properly, talked to each other, things started to get better. You realized your fault for not wanting to know him and always expecting him to change. You refused to compromise, and that somewhere affected your relationship. But now that also solved. And about fighting and arguments, so every healthy relationship has them because it helps one understand the other person better and reach a solution.